When you say, like I just did at the top of the program, Ebola was relatively limited, right there, those are fighting words. The politically correct. Because what it means is it was in a relatively few countries in the world. 3, it was in a relatively small geographic area compared to the rest of the world, Western Africa. And it would have been easy, or an effort could have been undertaken that would not have been that difficult to keep it there. And here come the political, oh, it's not fair. You want to discriminate against them? You want to make sure they get sick, but that nobody else? That's the way this thinking takes place now. You say something factual. I can imagine the politically correct in this audience thinking I've just said something inconsiderate, lacking in compassion, but it's true. The Obama response to this, given how relatively limited the Ebola problem was, given all the warnings Obama had, given the fact that nobody's trying to stop the regime from helping, and still it's being treated and dealt with in the most irresponsible, incompetent manner you can think of. The news reporting on this every day has some of these drive-by people, the drive-by media interviewing the CDC guy, they're beside themselves. They don't know what to do. He's a loyal Democrat, therefore he's got to be propped up, but they can't believe what they're hearing from the guy. And if he were a Republican, he would be destroyed on camera. He would be out of a job before he left the studio if he were a Republican. They try to have to cover for the guy while maintaining credibility with their dwindling audiences by asking tough questions. Why won't Obama stop the flights from Africa? I keep wondering. What do you mean you can't? What do you mean he can't? By who? Who would vilify him by stopping? No, you know why he can't stop the flights? It's not because he'd be vilified. What do you mean? He can't stop the flights because over here he's going to do amnesty. And what does he need for amnesty? Open borders. He can't close them. It's all political. This is my never-ending point. The reason he's not going to stop the flights from Africa or anywhere else Ebola happens to be is because he's going to do amnesty down the road. He promised the Hispanics yesterday. It's going to happen. He was bragging about the fact that he rode to the Hispanic speech with a couple of illegals. Bragging about it. And he's promising him it's going to happen. Well, you can't shut down flights from Africa. You can't close the border. Not if you later plan on using the open border for amnesty. But again, let me just ask from a common sense. Now, forget politics for a minute. Let me just ask a question. What would be wrong with stopping flights into the U.S. from those West Africa countries being overrun with Ebola? What would be wrong about it? During the latest round of fighting between Israel and Gaza, Obama didn't have any trouble stopping flights to Israel. He said it was a matter of public safety. Remember that? He shut down flights to Israel. Remember that? From the United States. He was not letting people under the guise of safety and security. He had no problem stopping flights to Israel. And the reason for that's political. That was to do economic harm. So what do you mean he can't do it? He'd be vilified. He already has done it. He could have stopped flights from those countries into the United States. And under the same premise that he used when he announced that we were eliminating or terminating temporarily flights into Israel. But no, the head of the CDC, this Thomas Frieden guy, said we have to stop it in Africa. But the problem is it's pretty clear we're not stopping it in Africa. And this guy turns around and says we can't stop it in Africa by closing the borders here. We can't stop it in Africa. The Ebola patient in Dallas proved that. He got out of Africa.